Good morning, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. This week featuring
Wake up, wake up.
Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey.
Wake up, wake up.
Oh.
Trauma, generational trauma.
No, really, can
Did you
I
see
have
all those Jamie Lee Curtis interviews where she goes, this movie's about trauma? I was like, is that how we pronounce that word?
I don't think so. Good morning, everyone.
Hey guys, it's Friday, October 20th, and you know what that means, right?
It is the first day of Spooky Bear Weekend.
Spooky Bear.
You look so spooky. And a bear.
Heck, see?
Yeah.
I did that on purpose. It feels like the 8th day of Spooky Bear.
Yeah.
I was at Spiritus last Saturday, and I saw somebody dressed as Thor, like with the hammer and the cape.
Did they... Never mind.
And that was still Fantasia Fair, I think.
Yeah.
And there were like people in Halloween costumes already.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been Halloween for a week already here in Provincetown.
Yeah.
Skip on down and come see us. There's so much to do this weekend. We'll
There really
get
is.
to all that in a minute.
Yeah.
Who's on the show today?
We have a really fun show for you today. We have Austin Tyler on the show today, here to promote his show, Are You Afraid of the Dork? It's going to be super spooky. And also, Mackenzie is coming in to promo her show, Magnifique, which is the Halloween edition of her beloved summer show, Magnifique.
We also have a little clip of the Frank Rocky Horror Experience that happened in the Paramount the last two nights. Did you get to go last night?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Where were
you? Things.
What's his name?
No.
What's their names?
No.
Okay, then.
And we also have a little video of the sharks.
Oh, yeah. So our local shark expert, Brian Laguerre, did an hour-long chat here in the Provincetown Brewing Company on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Wednesday night. To let us all know what the sharktivity is over at Boy Singular Beach.
Oh.
That's what we're calling it now, Boy Singular Beach.
Singular Boy Beach.
Yes.
No, in Provincetown, it's always hotly debated whether it's Boy Beach or Boys Beach. And I think anyone who matters calls it Boy Beach.
Brian said boys.
Anyone who knows calls it Boy Beach.
Brian is an in-the-know scientist.
I think I'm a Boy Beach expert, if you know what I mean.
See? Is that where you were last night?
No, it was too cold.
So yeah, it's like Boy Beach or Boys Beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's like also PSA, you guys. It is Joe Singular Coffee.
Joe Coffee.
It's not Joe's Coffee. It's not.
Can you call it Joe's?
No, it's
like
Joe
I'm going
Coffee.
to Joe's
I'm going
to get
Joe.
coffee.
It's called Joe.
Joe.
Is it like Joe Mama?
No, it's like Joe, which is another name for coffee.
Oh, I get it.
Like a cup of Joe. Everybody always calls it Joe's, and I'm like, no.
I call
His
it
name's
Joe.
Glenn,
I know it's
first of all.
Joe Coffee, but I do call it Joe's.
No, that's as bad as, I almost said bros. That's as bad as Boys Beach, Bros Beach. Now it's Bros Beach.
Bros Beach.
They're just going to screen the movie Bros.
I do have a friend who wanted to change it to Birthday Beach.
Birthday Beach?
Because it's like a nude beach. Yeah. And for it to be non-gender specific.
What do we call the lesbian beach at Harrington? You know how there's Boy Beach, and then further down on the other side, there's where the ladies hang out? They park their cars and drag their coolers out onto the beach.
I didn't realize that was, I thought.
Misogyny.
No, I just didn't realize that was a thing.
Lesbiphobic.
I'm totally down for a lesbian beach, but I just didn't realize we had one.
But I don't know what its like colloquial term is.
What did you guys come up with while you're thinking about it?
Sapphic Sands.
I kind of live for that. It sounds like the late 80s soap opera that I wanted.
Right?
Yeah.
Or Dyke Dunes.
Dyke Dunes. Okay, I'm into it.
Yeah, either. I mean, we'll put out a survey to all the women in our lives.
Yeah.
And see, I mean, they probably already have a name for it, and we just don't know it because you're always at the Boy Beach.
Yeah.
So how was your week, Harry?
It was really cute. So last Friday was my birthday. We celebrated it right here on Wake Up last Friday. Then I kind of had like a low-key day. I went to the beach. Not the beach. What did I do? I went to the gym. Kind of same deal. Just kidding. But I went to the gym. It was okay, but then me and a few friends got together and we went to Mr. Lino for dinner, which was fabulous. It was delicious. Everything everyone got was really, really amazing. But it was one of those, these nights happen at the Red Inn a lot where it's like they sang happy birthday to me. 45 seconds later, it was happy birthday to another table. And then about 3 minutes after that, it was like from the next room, happy birthday. I love those. Yeah.
Do you think those really were their birthday?
It was really my birthday. The one in the next room was Gary from Cafe Heaven. You might know him as the handsome host / server from Cafe Heaven. It was his birthday as well. And the second birthday, the middle birthday, he said that it was his birthday a week and a half ago, but it was the first time that his friend was able to join him, so they were celebrating.
Okay.
Which I'll allow. I mean, I did have like a week and a half for my birthday.
I don't know that the waiters are obligated to sing if it's a week and a half ago.
We're never obligated to sing.
Never?
Sometimes they're just not in the fucking mood, you know? No, but it was funny. So, like I said, my birthday was last Friday, but the Friday before, I had a joint birthday party with my friend Benji, and for that entire week, people kept wishing me happy birthday, and then I was like almost embarrassed for people to realize that it was finally my actual birthday, because so many people had already wished me a happy birthday.
But that's how Libra season usually goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you brought a warmer costume for Halloween, maybe bust it out tonight.
I didn't plan any warm costumes.
Only slutty ones.
Only slutty ones. Well, last night I went to a friend's house party. It was Jocktober.
Ooh.
It was a jockstrap party, and the invite said to wear your spookiest jockstrap. So I dug out my orange jockstrap and then made it into a jack-o'-lantern.
This was last night?
Yeah.
So that's why you weren't at Rocky Horror.
That's what I was doing later in the evening. Yes.
A jockstrap party.
Yeah, it was
fun.
It was fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Were there a lot of people there?
Yeah, there was. But I feel like I was the only person who was on theme.
Really?
With a spooky jockstrap. Everyone else was just like in regular jockstraps.
Did you meet anyone new?
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was tons of fun. Yeah, but my other costume idea was a slutty ghost, which is what I think I'm going to be tonight. Which is like, the typical costume I think we did a few years ago here on the show where you covered in the sheet. I'm going to do the same thing, except the sheet's going to stop like here, and then I'm going to be in my underwear. Slutty ghost.
Good.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend last night who was like, I'm going to be a pilgrim. And I was like, a slutty pilgrim? And he goes, no. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I'm just going to be like a pilgrim because it's Provincetown. And I was like, but that's where the slutty pilgrim part comes in, right?
And the town crier does that like every day.
Yeah. No, but I applaud anyone who's out in 3 different costumes this weekend. People who like traveled here and packed a different costume for every day.
Yeah. It's wild. I know.
It's a lot of planning.
I know. I ran into a friend who was visiting for the weekend. He's like, I only brought 1 costume. And I was like, foolish. You need 4.
Straight. Your friend is straight.
We should make a definitive list of, depending on what day Halloween is, how many costumes you need.
I mean, I wonder
because if it's on a Wednesday, you need 5.
Oh God, you're right.
Tuesday, you kind of need 9.
9?
Yeah, if it's on a Tuesday, you need 9 Halloween costumes.
OMG.
Because it's going to be the weekend before and the weekend after.
Do you have one for Monday for actual Halloween?
I have an old standard that I'm going to go with. It's kind of something I dig out of my closet every Halloween because it's easy and comfortable and fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a cow.
I think I've seen you in that.
I'm sure you have. No, I have these cute little white overalls that I like attached felt like cow spots to, and then these are from years ago. For the Boston Chops opening party, Josh Wilmuth made a bunch of cow like horns with ears on them for everyone to wear, and he made 1 pair of these like tiny little like calf ears. They're just like really tiny and little, and I still have them. And I wear those.
Aww.
They're so cute.
That's cute.
But I do feel like I shouldn't wear a slutty costume because Monday is our staff party.
Totally wear a slutty costume to the staff party. It's like a daytime party.
I love how you're like, but it's the day. Be slutty. It's in the afternoon.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I don't know if I think a lot of our staff will be fine with that, but not all. I think I might make people uncomfortable, and I don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what? So last weekend I went to Boston for 2 nights.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was really, really fun.
Good.
I went
Too much?
I don't know that. There's no such thing as too much fun.
Sure.
Unless it like ruins your whole next day.
Did it ruin your whole next day?
It altered my whole next day. I wouldn't use the word ruin because I don't know when the last time you went to like the campus of the school that you went to, but I haven't been on the BU campus since probably 2005, and I didn't really recognize any of it.
Oh really?
Yeah,
like all different.
Yeah, my friend Christopher, who I was with, we both went there. We were walking around, and he was like, "Look, it's the School of Communications. That's where you went. And that's where you had all your classes." And I was like, "I don't think so." I was like, "Did they move it?" And he was like, "No, they didn't move that building." He was like, "That building has always been there. It's always been the School of Communication." I was like, "How come I don't recognize? Like, I don't know. It's been that long."
Yeah, were you a communications major?
I was a screenwriting major.
Oh.
So like the film school was in comm.
Okay.
Maybe I guess I didn't go down to the basement where a lot of our classes were. I probably would have recognized that, but like it just made me feel extra old.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like I don't recognize any of this at all. And I went to the film thing, and only 2 of the people who taught when I was learning are still teaching.
Oh, that's sweet though. Do you get to say hi?
I left a note for one of them.
That's cute.
The one that when I was working at the Crown and Anchor right after I graduated, he came out here and like I waited on him, and he was like, "Robert," he has this like thick German accent. He was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Working in Provincetown for 1 summer."
Bringing you drinks.
Yeah, I'm here for a summer. I just graduated from grad school. I'm saving money and moving to LA.
Cute. Did you get up to anything else fun in Boston?
Candy bar.
I love candy
When's the last time you
bar.
went to Candy bar?
Within a year.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think me and Alicia went in the spring.
It was pretty wild.
Yeah, it always is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday nights, like when everyone goes out, but like Sundays are like, those are the diehards.
Mhm.
Those are the people that are committed to nightlife.
Yes. And I have to give a shout out to our friend Bobby Kelly, who told, I was like, "Hey, I'm in Boston. It's Sunday. What's there to do?" He sent me on a mission, and mission accomplished, Bobby.
What
Thank
was
you.
the mission?
To go to Candy Bar and have fun.
Cute. Is that his night, Candy Bar?
He is affiliated. It is his business partner's evening of entertainment. So if you're in Boston on a Sunday, go to Candy Bar.
Cute. And then also your next day, you just slept the whole day?
Well, we slept for a lot of it, but it was also raining. So we walked around the BU campus when it wasn't raining, and then we slept when it was raining, which was most
perfect.
Yeah.
Did you said you got to go to a lot of restaurants that you had previously been unable to get into? How were they?
Correct. Fantastic.
Where'd you go?
We had lunch at Myers and Chang.
That was good.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, oh yeah. I lived right near it when I lived in the South End.
So good. Really, really delicious. And then I finally got to take my friend to Yvonne's.
Oh, cute.
You've been there, right?
It's such a great space. I've never eaten there, but I've had cocktails there
You've
before.
never eaten there?
No.
It is a beautiful space. If you have time, go check out Yvonne's in Boston. What neighborhood is that?
That is Downtown Crossing?
Yes, I believe so.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, do you
Yeah.
still have to walk? You're like, I can't be going to the right place. And all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I'm in a gorgeous restaurant now.
It's tucked away and hidden, and you walk in and it feels it's like a library or something. I don't know what it used to be, but there's,
You walk into a beauty parlor.
do you?
Right.
Reception is
There's
Oh,
like
okay.
a salon you have to walk through to get. It is bizarre, but it's a really great.
Once you're in the space, there's books everywhere, and it's very nicely lit. Everybody looked like they were having a nice time, and the food was spectacular.
Thank you.
Yeah, very, very good. Good time in Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about that time of year where we're about to be done with work.
Yeah.
You can take little trips. I mean, you're going to be taking a trip to Boston once a week for 5
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Go to Yvonne's.
Of course. Yeah. Can't wait to like go out drinking.
You?
Yeah.
You don't really do that.
Because I work a lot. No, I as I look back at this season, as we're wrapping up, the Reddin's last day is this upcoming Sunday. You've got 3 more evenings to go in. The last 3 days, we're doing full happy hour from 2 to 4:30, and then dinner service starting at 5:30. So be sure to get in there if you weren't able to make it the rest of the season. But as I look back at this season, I'm like, wow, I worked too much.
You did.
Yeah.
You're going to bring it down a notch next year.
I mean, I always say it at the end of the season, then I forget.
I will remind.
I know. I need to like a journal so I can be like, how did I feel in August? I'm like, oh, don't work. Yeah. But I'm excited for it to wind down. Next weekend is the Food and Wine Festival, which I'm super excited for. Me and Bob are hosts. So this past Monday, I hosted trivia with Gaston Lacombe of Studio Lacombe, which is his art gallery in the Wellers Wharf. He did his round on Bjork.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you feel like you would have done well on that?
Well, only because it's Björk, isn't it?
It is Björk, which I learned. Gaston taught me. Also, he taught me how to say genre, which is not how you say it.
How do you say it?
He said like jarn.
What?
Genre. It's one of those things where you say the N and the R at the exact same time.
Was he trying to say droll?
No.
Are you sure?
No. But it was a lot of fun. But that was our last Monday trivia. From now on through the winter, it's going to be on Thursday evenings. And we're kicking it off this upcoming Thursday with a special food and wine festival trivia. I'm going to write my category on wine. We'll see if I do well at that.
You know a lot about wine.
But that's the problem.
Good at winers.
Winers? Oh, that is a good
You know
idea.
that's it.
Drag me. No, that's a really good idea. But like the hard part about doing a trivia round about something you know a lot about is like you have to remember you're doing it for 100 people that aren't
They don't know as much as you about
didn't do a wine tasting every Friday for 4 years.
Right.
You know. So we'll see. We'll see how we do.
I'm going to do food then. If you're going to do wine, I'll do
That's
food.
cute. Yeah. That's a
What's
good
the
idea.
There's a bunch of prizes too this time.
Yeah. They are doing. It is ticketed for $10, just so they can get a handle on who's going to be there, how many people are going to be there. So get your tickets now. That $10 does include your first beer, so it's kind of like like most of the beers are like between $7 and $9, so it kind of evens out. It's just to kind of like keep track of who's here, who's coming.
Yeah, come and play and win.
Yeah. Also get your tickets to the grand tasting, which is next Saturday at Town Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I went and it was incredible. They're adding some bites, not a full meal, but some snacks, so you don't get utterly tanked, which was always my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you're coming into town from afar for the Food and Wine Festival, and you're not planning on spending the evening, be sure to bring a designated driver. Because, I mean, you're going to be... I don't know anybody that spat at last year's wine tasting. It's a swallowing kind of wine tasting.
This town, not a lot of spitters in this town.
Yeah, and just send... Wow.
Yeah.
Just send your designated driver to like Spiritus to sit on the steps while you're drinking wine and having fun.
Yeah, but another really fun thing about the Food and Wine Festival, because of the success of last year, a lot of places have decided to stay open a little longer than they normally would. A lot of places would typically close this weekend that are going to stay open an extra weekend, and I think most notably of that is Tea.
Yeah,
which I think is really cool. And I was talking to Jill about it, who is the operating partner at the boat slip. I was talking to her about it, and she's like, it's actually a good idea because like Halloween is so insane at Tea. It doesn't feel like this like loving farewell. It just feels like you're like and then it's over. So like they're gonna do the craziness of Halloween this weekend and then kind of have like a slightly more chill, kind of relaxed, like one last Tea weekend. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week.
What did you get up to? You saw a few shows this week, right? How was Frank?
Frank was so much fun. So I've only ever seen the movie Rocky Horror Picture Show once.
Oh.
In high school, late at night, I was home by myself and it was on TV and I was like, oh, okay. And so I really don't have any sort of personal relationship to it. I've never seen any live variation of it, but I just had so much fun. Like every local celebrity, famous superstar was in it that you can think of. Mark was in it too.
Superstar.
No, it was like just really fun because what they did was every time there was a musical, they were playing the movie on the giant news screen at the Crown and Anchor, and every time there was a musical number from the movie, of which there are many. Somebody new came out to like portray that character.
I love that.
And it was people, some of them were people who I hadn't seen like sing or dance before. I mean, he wasn't dancing because he was in a wheelchair, but Evan came out as like the uncle of
Dr. Scott.
What's his name? Dr. Scott. He came out as Dr. Scott in a wheelchair and like was like I was like, that person has acting experience.
I love that.
And I would not have known that before.
I love that.
No, it was super fun. Mackenzie was in it, Ryan Landry. They had 3 or 4 different people playing Frankenfurter. So Drew came out as Frankenfurter, Ryan Landry. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And they gave you a bag when you walked in and it had like a newspaper and some like noisemakers. I didn't know what they were for. And then like one of the first scenes in the movie, they're like walking through the rain with newspapers over their heads. And so like everyone around me was doing it. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And then somebody started splashing us with stuff. And I was like, oh, you have to do this.
Yeah, it's immersive.
Yes, it was very, very immersive.
Cute.
It was just awesome. I wish I could have gone 2 days because I'm like, I bet it's a completely different experience the second day.
Yeah.
Totally different. I hope they get to do it every year.
Yeah, it's super fun. I love that idea. You can also like pull up. I think there was a member of the audience who just pulled up every call and repeat, and
Yes,
just
there
was like very committed to doing all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did. I saw him last night. I was like, you cheated. You were just reading those things off your phone. Shouldn't you just know them?
I mean, that's the idea, but I don't. Do you know them?
No, but I wasn't doing it. I didn't know.
In a few years, once we've done it every Halloween for the next few years, we'll all
just know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But congratulations to Trevor, Jonathan, everybody at the Crown, everyone who participated. I thought it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that's the only show I saw this week.
I also heard Janet was there dressed as Janet.
She was. And sat in the front.
I love that.
Yeah. Good time.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up at Grotto Bar last night for the Ritz, and most of the cast was there. Everyone looked great.
I heard that was really busy.
It was. Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, I was leaving at probably 12:15, and there was a line of people coming in, and I was like, "Whoa."
Nice.
Yeah, I was ready to be done, and I needed my beauty sleep for this.
It's going to be a big spooky bear, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on tonight here at the brewery. Is their Flip Cup, the annual Flip Cup tournament?
Are you on a team?
No.
No.
But I think there are still a spot. There might be a spot or two left. So check out the Provincetown Brewing Company's Instagram page, and they can direct you to where you can register a team.
Mm-hmm.
Also, tomorrow night here at the brewery is a disco party with Emil Cohen from Mother Disco.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah. If you they did their what?
7 to 10.
7 to 10. They did their Mother Disco this past August at the Crown and Anchor, and it was so much fun. One of my favorite parties that I made it to this year.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight at the Red Room is a spooky underwear party, and I think they're doing their big 2-level Halloween party tomorrow night with prizes for costumes.
$1,000 cash prize for the best costume.
Damn. Okay. And then there's a bunch of shows happening at the Crown and Anchor. We're going to talk about 2 of them with our guests later, but also Gina Martina is doing a Halloween show. Thirsty Burlington lies a lot. Yeah. It's a wild weekend. Get here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the news around the world, Harry?
Let's see. So Out Magazine released their Out 100, which is where they do 100 of the most influential queer people in the world. They feature every year, and there were a few locals in it.
Who?
Yeah. State Senator Julian Sear was in it. He looks so cute in his picture. Also, Sharon Callahan. Sharon Callahan is the CEO of CDM, which is one of the world's leading healthcare advertising agency networks. She also sits on the board of many organizations, LGBT, the Victory Fund, GLAAD, the Arthritis Foundation, Women Against Alzheimer's, and the Coalition for Healthcare Communications.
She lives around the corner from the Red Inn.
Yeah, lives around the corner from the Red Inn with her wife, Taryn. They come into the Red Inn all the time. I saw them a few times at the Provincetown Inn pool with their babies. They have 2 adorable babies.
Sharon.
Yeah, and also Russell DeGraff.
Oh, good night.
Yeah. Russell is the senior policy advisor to Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, and I knew Julie was in it. And as I was kind of poking through, I was like, oh my god, there's more. There honestly might even be more. I didn't get through them all. Maybe there's more P-Town people in there.
On newsstands today.
Yeah,
I think.
that's
Pick up Out Magazine.
on the internet now.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That.
Have you heard the song "Unholy" by Sam Smith and Kim Petras?
I think I've heard a verse and a chorus.
Yeah, they made history this week as the first out non-binary performer and first trans performer with a #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 with their song "Unholy."
They're the #1 on the Hot 100?
Yeah, this past week.
Oh, wow.
I think they're only going to spend 1 week there because I did hear a rumor that Taylor Swift will be 9 out of the 10 spots in the top 10 this week, with only "Unholy" at number 8 or something that. Yeah. I did hear that was when they released this is probably what it's going to be. There was a online campaign of Swifties. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
To get the ones that just didn't make the top 10, play them a lot, so they'll get in the top 10 and she can take over the whole top 10.
So they gamed it.
Yeah, well, then
Totally.
But I mean, regardless, she was going to do that. It was one of the most talked about albums of the decade, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But the song "Unholy" is really incredible. They started teasing it on TikTok about a month and a half ago, and it went viral on TikTok, and there was a lot of discussion around it because it went fully viral on TikTok, but the song didn't get released for another month month, and there were a lot of people on TikTok saying that it was a failure in the way they marketed the song. I guess just the way everything works now with TikTok, it's like they expect it to be out faster. It was almost like people were saying, we're already sick of this 15-second clip, and now you're like, we don't even care about the song anymore.
Well, they cared. It's number one.
Well, right. That was exactly my point. And now people are still talking about it, and I keep commenting and be like, y'all, it's number one. Stop being so self-important.
Boy.
Like, TikTok doesn't run the world.
Doesn't it, though?
It can influence the world, but it doesn't run it. Actually, a funny story. Do you remember the song Blue by Eiffel 65 or whatever?
Yeah.
So David Guetta, right now it's kind of a hit. He did a kind of a cover of it sort of deal. He wrote like new words. It's like, I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling all right. So he recorded that with BB Rexa in 2016, played it at some festival, and then never played it again. It's the only time he played it. And then like a few months ago, a TikTok user used it as an audio in one of their TikToks, and it blew up. And I had heard this, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. What a crazy story. And then because of that, BB Rexa went to David Guetta. She's like, we got to re-record this. We got to get it out. It's going to be a hit. And it is. And then recently I was watching a video kind of TikTok about the trajectory of the song. And they're like, then the TikTok user Sweet Tales. And I was like, do you know my friend Allison?
Yeah.
That's her little sister.
Really?
Yeah. So it was my best friend from high school's little sister who posted the audio and made it go viral.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It can change the world. TikTok can change the world.
It can change BB Rexa's world.
Right.
But congratulations to Kim Petras and Sam Smith on their firsts.
Yeah.
An update on the Brittany Griner case out of Russia. Her appeal work. They're sticking with her 9-year sentence. The only adjustment to the sentence was that the time that she has served since she was originally detained, they're starting the 9 years from there. Really sad turn of events. I think it's still a diplomatic issue between the U.S. and Russia, and they're trying to negotiate, but that appeal not going through is not great. One thing that Brittany did say in the courtroom was that she's like, I've been in the prison system for a year now. I've been talking to a lot of these people, and it is insane the things that some of these women have done and are getting 2 years when I'm getting 9. And it might be our culture kind of feeling like weed is not, you know what I mean?
Right.
She's like, oh, I didn't do anything bad. It's like, you have, drugs are viewed incredibly differently around the world.
Right.
So it might be this idea that all I did was this, and it's viewed differently, but I kind of agree with her. If she's in jail with people who are committing theft and murder and seemingly getting shorter sentences than her. But I think we all knew that it was going to be kind of what's the word? Using her as an example.
Well, she's a political pawn.
Exactly.
We just need to release a few war criminals, and then they'll set her free.
That sucks.
I think that's kind of their point, right?
Yeah. They're like, oh, we'll trade you this arms dealer. And it's like,
for this basketball player.
Yeah, and we're kind of like, okay, we really want a free, but we can't give you an arms dealer.
Story unfolding.
Yeah. This past week, Leslie Jordan, the actor, passed away. He was a queer icon of the last 30 years, most notably, for me at least, from Will and Grace. Mm-hmm. That's probably most people's main point of reference. And also, he kind of blew up in the pandemic era. He made all these videos that all went viral. And I think his mark on the world and the way he'll be remembered is just the joy he always kind of embodied and personified and spread. There's kind of this there's a meme going around the internet about how every gay person on the planet has a picture with him.
Definitely everyone in Provincetown.
Right, which I think just goes to show the type of person he was, how friendly, outgoing, and how he just wanted to spread his joy. And I hope people use that as an inspiration to move forward.
He was a very good example.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the stories that I read were I was walking down the street and I ran into him and he was like, hey, we're coming to have lunch. Want to come?
That's so cute.
Inviting strangers to sit and have a nice time with him, and a really, really deeply sweet, genuine person who provided us all with a lot of laughs.
Yeah. As I was kind of looking back at his career, I watched like a mega mix of him and Megan Mullally from Will and Grace, which was just a riot. And it was so cute because their kind of shtick was that they like they were always like butting heads. And then the last clip was like, that sniveling queen, Beverly Leslie is coming, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, just tell him not to come. And he's like, but he's my best friend in the world. I could never do that. Super cute. But I also read that character was originally written for, oh my God, who did I just say?
Joan Collins.
Joan Collins. They wrote the character for Joan Collins, and then she turned it down because I think the idea was that she got her wig snatched at the end of the scene, and they were like, she can't have her wig pulled off, so she backed out. And then they were like, who are you going to get to fill this? And the casting director knew Leslie Jordan was like, you have to just call Will and Grace right now. So, yeah.
Well played.
How serendipitous.
Perfectly cast.
Yeah. Did you see last night that Elon Musk officially bought Twitter?
Oh, I thought that already happened.
No, he had backed out, but it seems like it's back on. He owns Twitter.
So what you're saying is the porn on Twitter is about to get much worse.
Worse as in better, or better as in, or worse as in worse?
I don't trust his taste.
Well, I mean, I don't trust.
They're going to start like editing gay porn on Twitter, which is the whole point of Twitter.
I also think there's like when there was initially this talk of him buying it, he is one of those people who's like, I'm an advocate for free speech. And then there was a big push for once he acquired Twitter to allow a lot of the people that have been banned over the past few years back on, namely our former president.
Is he automatically back on Twitter now?
I haven't heard that yet, and dear God, I hope not. And in other weird conservative social network news, Kanye West bought Parler this past week. Yeah. Kanye West is officially a person to be ignored. We won't be speaking about him anymore on the show after this. But I was talking to a friend who kind of knew the idea of Parler, and Parler is one of those things that like it's kind of worth nothing.
Okay.
Because of its I don't know if you know, but Parler, the idea is that it is a conservative social networking site, but because of the content, no one will host the servers. So that's why all of these like weird conservative social medias always look a mess. They're always because people who are smart enough to do the work to create a social network won't do it because they're smart enough to know that it's bad.
I hope he has fun over there.
Yeah.
That's his only job now.
Right?
Yeah, he got dropped from Adidas, which made him no longer a billionaire. It seems like everyone is dropping him, and I think that is right. I think that's perfect. Bye. Yeah. You got anything else?
No, I think that's all the news that's fit.
Awesome. So we have a short clip of a few scenes from Frank, the Rocky Horror Tribute show that happened over this past week. Check this out.
Could we use your phone? We're both in a bit of a hurry.
Right.
So just say where we are and then go back to the car. We don't want to be any worry. Where are you now? With a flag, How about that? Now, baby, don't you dare.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Did you get to go?
I got the second night, and it was a full house. It was. I was on the pool deck watching. It was
Oh my God.
crazy.
Wild. Please welcome to the show, Austin Faisal.
Hi.
You know what though? We just realized Austin this is his third consecutive Halloween episode of Wake Up, but your first live appearance.
First live. I've been a ghost of sorts for the first 2 years. So
Yeah, we decided. I think that first Halloween episode that you should be on every Halloween. So
Which is an
thanks for
absolute-
coming back.
It's an absolute gift to me. I appreciate the heck out of it because where else on earth can you foster your creepiness than Provincetown and completely get away with it?
And also, like Halloween being gay Christmas, and then being viewed as like the Halloween guy in Provincetown, the gay capital of the world. Like, yeah, exactly.
Not the worst life.
Exactly.
And so your show, Are You Afraid of the Dork?
Yes. So earlier this year, I'm seeing all these brilliant new performers come to the spotlight. I'm seeing storytellers. I'm seeing people who haven't had the sort of stage that they've had before. And I thought, well, I look terrible in drag. I'm not much of a singer. Dancing's kind of a tragedy, but having worked in the haunted house industry for 18 years, I know how to scare the hell out of people. So let's turn it into a show.
Haunted house industry.
Yeah, it's
It
about,
is an industry.
it's about
what did you
40
do in that
billion a
industry?
year.
Really?
40 billion a year around the world.
Damn.
5.5, I think, comes directly from the US, something like that.
Wow.
Basically, you go into a haunt attraction, and your goal is to find the layout of the room and best terrify people who are paying you to scare them. Best gig ever.
So were you involved in like those huge like Halloween
Yep.
setup things? Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, well, I mean, it makes sense now, right?
Yeah, I mean that all tracks. But, no, I love those things.
So I got to see these, shows coming together, and I thought, well, I've been telling some of these stories for a long time, and let's just get spooky with it. I mean, what better time of year? And I could spin a yarn. So here we are.
True stories?
Very true stories. So, of course, people will say, well, prove it. Where's the science? And Halloween isn't a scientific holiday.
No.
No. But the first half of the show are based on actual encounters that I have had.
Wow.
So it's not the standard stuff you hear in an urban legend. It's personal, actual encounters. But the real spotlight cool part of it is the third quarter. So I performed my first stand-up in April of this year.
Which is awesome. I was
Thank
there.
you so much. And immediately after the show, I was approached by a woman who said, my wife of I think 14 years maybe, had passed away in 2019. And shortly before I did the stand-up show, the woman, Stephanie Jacobson Landon, found a set of stand-up comedy class notes that her now deceased wife had written years ago in 2016 and had never gotten to perform.
Oh my.
So I am going to be debuting her comedy post-mortem
That's so cool.
with a little bit of interpretation because the notes were, rough material.
Right.
And we will be doing it on her behalf as a way of honoring who she was as a person in town.
That's really awesome.
And then the last quarter is the goal is to set it up so that the concept of discussing loss and mourning is not as terrifying as it normally is most of the time. I've seen funny shows, I've seen scary shows, but if you're going to come see mine, I want you to take something from it. So the first half is scary and fun. The second half is a little more thought out and emotionally uplifting as the goal. Yeah.
And you're doing this 2 nights.
2 nights. So tonight at 6:30 at the Crown and Anchor, and then again tomorrow night 6:30 at the Crown and Anchor. And as I understand it, Saturday is just about completely sold out.
Congrats. That's cool.
It's completely surreal to imagine this.
You're in the wave bar?
I'll be in the wave bar.
It's such a great space.
Well, it's a cool space, and we are going to recreate the setting and scene from the Nickelodeon TV show, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Ooh.
So it's going to be very much in that style. Oh, right. I got all of it. It's sitting in the back of my car right now.
Oh my god, I love that.
So there's some really cool effects, some storytelling mechanisms, and the team at the Crown and Anchor has been unbelievable. I have Jonathan's brother, Jonathan first, thank you for the opportunity. Jonathan's brother, Christian, designed a lot of my graphics, a lot of my stills.
He did our logo.
He knows what he's doing, right? Come on. And then Andrew Haig is going to be helping me put together the show later today. And it's feeling really promising
Oh, that's awesome.
to terrify you. So, It's good stuff.
So
How did you get into Halloween? Was it that work that really got you in, or were you even before that?
Oh, I was a creepy little kid.
Mhm.
That's the story I opened the show with. Is most kids want to be a cowboy or a firefighter, and here I am wrapped in a black blanket, my face painted black and white, as like a teeny tiny Grim Reaper. I'm like, what kind of child goes that direction? Well,
I think I was a Grim Reaper when I was like 7 years old.
So you're close to trend.
Yeah.
But, what kind of 4-year-old runs around just like the Grim Reaper?
Right.
Well, the type of kid that's seen some shit. So that's a lot of what I'll be talking about.
That's really cool.
they did a really nice feature on you in the Provincetown magazine this week.
Steve DeRoche is a godsend. He had me over for a short interview, a couple of pictures, and he was such a sweetheart about writing up sort of the history of the show in Provincetown magazine. And I am absolutely thankful because he could have written me off to look like a complete loon.
Right.
Only semi-loon, which I appreciate,
Really hit that sweet spot.
The semi-loon spot where it's like crazy but still fun.
Yeah, that's what you want.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you're from Central Connecticut?
Central Connecticut, which in and of itself is fairly spooky. Lots of woods and overpaid white people. So it's a great place to run away from and land in Provincetown.
You have scary stories from Connecticut too, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, driving around Connecticut, you're like, well, that's haunted.
The
That
Merritt
house is
Parkway.
haunted.
Ooh.
Isn't there like The Haunting in Connecticut? That's a movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that took place in Southington, is the actual city, and I got to meet Carmen Snedeker,
Oh my
who was
God.
the mother from the case. She's the sweetest little southern real estate lady, and then you sit down with her, and she tells these horrific stories, and you're like, why is something this upsetting coming from a tiny, beautiful lady? It just didn't make sense, but her account was just horrifying, and so hit me in the spot I needed to be hit when I talked to her.
Right. Do you have are you dressing up for your show?
I thought about it. I was like, do I go spooky? Do I go creepy? But I'm not doing a character. This show is me doing me. And in order to maintain a certain amount of respect, because I will be talking about Tammy, who's a real person who's passed away, and there will be some thoughtful and emotional portions of the show. So I didn't want to go too campy and make it silly. I want to keep that respect for those who are no longer here.
Yeah. I've seen you do some really incredible costumes in the past, so.
Oh, don't worry, they're coming.
Oh,
They're
good,
coming.
good. Perfect.
You talked about the Red Room giving $1,000 away. On Saturday night, I will be
You're going for
hosting
it?
or co-hosting
Oh, perfect.
with the big costume party dressed as a giant blue caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
Love that.
Well, it supports the vaping lifestyle.
Mhm.
And dressed like a giant blue phallic symbol, I'll too be giving away $1,000 to the best costume at the Crown and Anchor party on Saturday night.
I'm busy this weekend.
It doesn't stop.
We'll rest after Monday.
Ish.
After real Halloween.
Right.
Yes, after real Halloween.
Yeah, it's going to be Townie Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm so
After
excited.
Monday, like Tuesday. We can all sleep on Tuesday.
I can't wait.
Sleep when you're dead. One of those.
We'll kill the people this weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Check out Austin's show tonight at 6:30 and tomorrow at 6:30 at the Crown and Anchor. Tickets at onlyatthecrown.com.
Only at thecrown.com, and you save a few bucks if you go directly to the box office with cash.
Hurry up before it sells out.
Do it.
We got a video of Brian.
Oh, here's 1 minute and 13 seconds of Brian Laguerre's Shark Talk, where he tells everybody that Boy Beach is not as dangerous as you might think.
Perfect.
Head of the meadow again. It's close to 50%. It's 45% of the time a shark was present at head of the meadow in 42 sharks. So if anyone has any idea about the sharks at Boys Beach, this is bass. So the technology I have can also pick up bass. And it looks terrifying if this was sharks. But this was the sharks. Sharks at Boys Beach were only present 2% of the time. Only 14 individual sharks traveled to Boys Beach. And only one was present at any given time. So this tells me that for whatever reason, possibly the queer population on the beach, sharks are not present at Herring Cove as much as they are on the backside, but they are still present. So there is a paper in the works called, Sharks Don't Bite Gay People and Other Ways to Misinterpret the Data. So that's
yesterday. Just the sheer size of the audience.
And we're back.
Oh, hi everybody. So yeah, I mean, Brian knows the science. As far as these outer Cape beaches go, Herring Cove, Boy Beach is probably the safest place to hang out.
I love that.
Right?
Good to know.
Please welcome back to the show, Mackenzie.
Yeah. Hey, hi everyone.
Thank you so much for making a little time this morning.
Glad to be here.
On a busy holiday weekend, I imagine.
Day Christmas.
Yeah.
You did
Drag
two
queens
shows
are
yesterday.
booked this weekend.
Like, we can't help you with your makeup. It's too late.
Right.
You had a really long day yesterday. You did the Generations Project.
Yes.
And Frank.
Back to back.
And Frank.
Mm-hmm. Finally got to wash my face this morning.
I know, but like I was leaving work at 1. We passed each other in the street like, oh, see you in like 6 hours. Oh my God.
Should have just slept.
I know. We should have just called up on the street. But how did the shows yesterday go?
Wonderful. It's like you said. I mean, we're all booked, blessed, beautiful, but it's a lot. It's a lot for us. So when you see your local drag queens out and about, and actually you're going to see a lot more because Halloween tends to birth many a drag queen. Just let them know they're doing all right.
You're either a Pride queen or a Halloween queen, generally.
Truly, that is sort of like the big birth dates of most.
Are you one of those?
I think I was a Halloween. It's been a long time, but I do think Halloween is the OG queen date for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you had a nice run this summer with Magnifique.
Yes, indeed. It was absolutely amazing. Every sort of expectation we had just was blown out of the water. It was really well received this summer. If you guys came and saw it, thank you so much for supporting. And we're not done yet.
Yeah. So when did you concoct the idea of Magnifique? Like, when did that word first pop into your head?
So Magnifique, it's basically just our horrific, demonic take on Magnifique, and I don't know. I love stupid names like that, and coming up with Magnifique felt great. And then all of a sudden, it was like Halloween. Let's get Magnifreaky sold, done. So yeah, you're gonna see some familiar faces. We got Drigo coming back, Lady Prism, Spooky, and then the addition of Miss Duchess of Sandwich, or Rebecca from Pop and Dutch. She will be joining us this weekend as well. But yeah, Magnifique just kind of rolled off the Halloween tongue.
What's your showtime?
Showtime 8 o'clock, Crown and Anchor. Tickets are available at onlyatthecrown.com. I tried to dress as appropriate as possible.
They kind of go together.
Dress for the job you want, and this will all be coming off anyway. So I'm actually not wearing anything underneath it. Oh, kidding.
I got to check out Magnifique this past summer, but I like it was bittersweet to catch the specific one I got to see because I unfortunately got to see the one where you were out of commission.
Didn't quit the show, or didn't cancel the show.
No, I couldn't believe you were there at all.
I broke a couple ribs this summer, but didn't keep me down.
Yeah, and it was like the reason I say it was bittersweet is because I was like so bummed I didn't get to see you do your thing, but like you brought on so many incredible guest performers to fill in, and it was so cool to see everyone.
Thank you. I love this community so much. Everyone's like, "You're hurt. We're gonna strip for you. We'll get naked for you."
Yeah,
it was wonderful.
Nothing keeps you down. How are you feeling now?
Honestly, this last week is the first time I'm not really feeling it, but after this weekend, it'll
be back.
right open again.
Good. So there's been like kind of burlesque that comes to town every once in a while. What made you kind of want to be like, we need a burlesque show that's here every week, locals?
Yeah, I mean, burlesque. We have the most amazing burlesque all over the country, but I with my friends, we're getting half naked on the dance floor anyway, and all of a sudden it was like, if you add glitter and you add more songs and anything you could, and all of a sudden it was like we have those people. Everyone has it in them to get up there and feel empowered to love the body that they have. And it was like, if we could do this weekly from a queer perspective, non-binary sort of genderless perspective, and just have a spectrum of body types and sexual expressions, it was like Provincetown is needs that. It's and we've had amazing burlesque come year after year from all over the country, but it was time to let some of our local queerdos show a titty.
Totally. Yeah. And it was also a very like safe space. It's hard when you're navigating like kind of, not that it's a sexual environment, but there's like an aspect of intimacy. Yeah, exactly. But you also, I loved that you did like the consent bracelets.
Yeah.
A lot of times you go to drag shows or other type of performances where you're kind of involuntary, like thrust into the spotlight.
All of a sudden it's who?
Yeah, and I love that you had the respect for your audience members to like allow people to kind of consent to that or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary thing to get up there and kind of bear it all. So, you know, there's a lot of trust happening between not only the dolls and myself, but every single audience member that wants to come in there. So we want to continue to create a really safe and respectful environment. So yeah, those consent bracelets were like, you let us know if you want us to come, you know, grind up on you. And if not, totally respected.
Yeah.
Are you hitting up a bunch of other Halloween parties this weekend too?
I am going to try. I am so excited. Come Monday, I actually don't have anything. I shouldn't even say that out loud.
Now
I hear how it's going to happen.
I hear your phone
I
ringing.
can hear it. But I'll pop around. It's just been such a chaotic. I think it was 8 performances, 3 different shows, a multitude of looks. So come Monday, I'm gonna crash.
Do you have any like brunch gigs this weekend?
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, at the Crown and Anchor, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, it is Spooky Bear Drag Brunch. We have a couple girls, I believe, from Connecticut who are coming in to join us as well. But yeah, you'll get Roxy Pops, myself, Elemental P is back.
Sunday morning?
Sunday morning. Woo!
No rest for the weary.
Woo!
Yeah, right.
And you're already planning your Christmas shows, right?
Shut up.
Yes. See?
Oh my God.
It doesn't really stop.
No.
Ever.
I know. Everyone's like, "Are you so excited to slow down?" I'm like, luckily we like does slow down a bit, but
What does
like
that mean?
exactly. Our slow is like everyone else's normal. I feel.
It's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think I've never been happier. Sleepy, but never been happy.
Mhm.
So get your tickets to Macna Freak at onlyatthecrown.com, or like Austin said, you can get a little break if you bring cash to the box office.
Yeah.
Break the leg. Of course. Thank you so
How'd
much.
you guys?
Thanks for coming in, and thank you all for watching.
Wait, one more thing.
Okay.
On Halloween night itself, remember Stephen Masick, Stephen the Medium, who did a psychic reading of us?
Yeah.
He's doing psychic readings on Halloween Day at Whalers Wharf, or at the Water's Edge Cinema in
Oh my
Whalers
God,
Wharf.
that's so cool.
So if you have a little time on Monday on Halloween, go check it out.
Yeah. Also Monday they're doing a $35 buffet for Mr. Lino there last night, and it was so good last week. I'm like, I should go back.
Buffets.
Space Pussy.
Space
Pussy at the Governor Bradford.
Tea dance at the Crown and Anchor.
Oh,
Extended
on
too,
Halloween?
right?
Halloween.
Oh, cute.
Ooh, yeah.
Does that overlap our staff party?
Oh my God, is that our staff?
Is
party?
that?
Staff party.
I love that.
Yeah, have fun this weekend, everybody. Be safe.
Yeah, thank you to all our sponsors that read in: Be Well Cannabis, Cafe Heaven, the Crown and Anchor Provincetown Brewing Company, Project Valor Sailing, the Adam Howard Metal Workshop.
And viewers like yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you for waking up at Provincetown.
Yeah, wherever you are.
We'll see you next Friday.
Good morning, everybody.